Hi, friends. Host Eric here. Talking with famous people. I'm here with Garrett, and Garrett's a very smart consumer. He paid $5 for a private typing session that I had up on the store just to see what would happen if we just put it for $5. So I got a new
Almost
plan.
five.
I'm gonna double it. He got the best deal anyone's
Mhm.
ever gonna get. I'm gonna double it. I'm gonna make it $10. Someone's gonna get that. There'll be one at that price. And after I've done this conversation with him, I'm planning to write a little report on it and give him a little report. Okay, so I have some formal sort of testing things I want to get in the mix here, but I haven't gotten them in the mix with him because they're still kind of in process, and I couldn't find my questions document that I was looking for. I think I maybe lost data from server shit. Regardless, I wanted to ask him the Mystery Island question, and I thought I'd start recording. Garrett here is a very interesting fellow, and I'm not even going to tell you what type I think he is or what type he thinks he is because you can probably figure it out for yourself. All right. So, Mystery Island question. You go to sleep one night, like normal. Yawn, sleep, pajamas, and you're in your regular pajamas. You wake up the next morning, you're on a mattress in an unfamiliar place. You've got on different pajamas. You're not sure how you got there. And sleeping around you are about, must be about 10 or 12 other people on same mattresses. You look down, you realize you've got on Winnie the Pooh pajamas. You definitely didn't go to bed in that last night. And everybody around you also has Winnie the Pooh pajamas. The people lying on these other mats around you on the floor are varying ages and demographics. There's some young girl, young boy, uh, teenage girl, teenage boy, man, old woman. There's like the whole range of things are all represented there, okay? But what you notice is everybody else is still asleep. They're all kind of snoring and sounding like they're asleep and looking like they're asleep. To the extent that you can see, it's pretty dark in there, but not completely dark. And so you look around, you blink, and you can see on one wall there's what appears to be a door. On another wall, high up though, there appears to be a window. You're not sure if you could get up to see there because it's probably too high for you to see out of. On a third wall, there's a dresser of some sort. Looks like it has drawers in it. That's all you can see in the dark. What do you do?
Uh, I'll probably um, I'll probably just lay there like, whoa, for a
Okay,
while.
you lie there for a while. You gather your bearings. Okay, you check again. Am I
Somebody,
dreaming? You pace yourself out there? No, okay. So you lie there and you settle into the fact that this is the reality. Everybody else is still sleeping. It's been like 30 minutes.
hmm, so they're all asleep. Okay. Um, is the dresser tall enough to reach the window?
Yes, if you scooted the desk dresser over there, you could climb on top of the dresser and look out the window. However, to scoot it over there, you'd have to either lift it over some sleeping people or wake them up and move them out of the way or pull the mattress out of the way or something because there are people between the dresser and the wall and there's not enough room to go around them.
Okay. Um, so I just walk out the door?
Well, you could go walk over to the door if you'd like.
Yeah, check out the door.
Okay, so you go to the door and you realize there's no handle on this side. It is a door, and there's little cracks that make it look like it's obviously a door, right? But there's no handle on this side. You try to push it, but it's a pull door. And you try to get your fingers under the crack, but the crack's too small. Can't fit even your pinky under there. Very thin crack.
Interesting. Um, I'll probably just go ahead and wait for someone to wake up.
So you wait there on your bed for another hour, and you realize everyone's still sleeping. You want to wait another hour?
Sure.
Okay. You hear somebody muttering off to one side. Where am I? An old lady has woken up and she's blinking with her moist eyes about the dim room. She doesn't seem to have noticed that you're sort of sitting up and sort of awake. Do you want to communicate with her?
Yeah.
You say,
I'd be like,
I'm awake. I'm over here. Who are you? What did you do to me? Why did you put me? Where
I'd be
am I?
quiet.
What did you do?
Be like, everybody's sleeping.
Who's everybody? You and your
Oh,
gang of thugs?
yeah. Calm down. We're just, I have no idea what's going on,
I
but
don't either. I'm going back
I'm
to
gonna
sleep.
say
And she goes back to sleep.
she goes back. All right, I'll wait it out till the next person wakes up.
Okay, so you keep waiting. Finally, around 6 hours later, 5 in the afternoon or something, or whatever time it is, it's starting to be pretty light in the room now. So it must be later in the day. Um, People start waking up. Pretty soon, there's like 10 or 12 people waking up. And little kids are crying. People are like kind of pointing at each other. Who are you? What's going on here? Um, and and one guy goes, "All right, that's it. I'm taking charge of this shit. All right. Now look, you go stack up all these mattresses against the wall, and he points to you. You go move that dresser over to the door. We're gonna push that dresser against that door until it breaks open." And what do you do?
I say we should look out the window first.
Hey, I'm in charge. You shut up and do what you're told. Get that dresser and push it over there.
No.
Okay.
Let's look out the window first, please.
He says, "Fine, I'll do it myself." And he goes over and takes the dresser and pushes it up to the door. He says, "Come on, everybody, help me push through the door with this dresser." And most of the people go over there. Most of the people go over there and sort of start pushing on it. Do you participate?
No.
Okay. He stops, and finally one of the people says, "Hey, we should do what that guy says. Let's push it over there to the window." They were unable to break through the door. I don't know why he thought that it would be more effective with the dresser, I don't know. But so they push it over to the window, and you have the honor of climbing up there and looking out the window. And when you do, you notice that you can open the window. It's not latched or anything, it's not locked, but that you're in a high turret, high above the ground. And you can't climb down the wall because it's sheer. It's like 90 degrees all the way down. Um, you see that you are apparently on an island, or at least a peninsula. You don't know what's behind you exactly. But as far as you can see in either direction, it's a coastline that's curving around and appears to be an island. You can see where the you can see the ocean in 180 degrees. So at no point in your field of vision is there not ocean at the edge of the horizon. Again, you don't know what's behind you. But with the palm trees and other things you can see, it looks like a stereotypical tropical island that you are on. But you're high up in a turret, and what, from the little bit of the building you can see, appears to be some sort of keep or castle. What do you do now? Now the people think you're the leader. They're all turned to you and say, "Okay, you're the leader now, because idiot there was wrong. So you're the leader. What do we do now, leader?"
Could we? How's like steep is the drop?
Well,
or not steep, high.
How high is the drop? It's about 7 stories.
Okay, so we could put each mattress out the window carefully so that there's padding at the bottom. And then have the strong people at the top. We make like a ladder of people and like drop, like each like small kid crawls down and then falls to the mattresses and then keep trying that.
Why don't you? Okay, but what about the person who's at the top of the ladder? How do they get down?
Well, we save the children first, and then they can maybe go find some help.
Here, children. You're in charge of finding help. But I'm scared. Get out there and you find some fucking help.
You better come back, or else God's gonna kill you in
Okay,
hell.
so you suggest your mattress and human ladder idea, um, but you run afoul of an immediate problem. One of the ISTJs in the group says, "Uh, I don't think that mattress is going to fit through the window. It's kind of a
We can make
smallish
it fit.
window.
It's a mattresses are pliable.
They are foldable, but this window is only like this big by this big."
Okay.
Um,
So
okay. So what do you do?
we use our teeth to cut the mattress for days.
You got the mattress.
Days
Well,
on end. Maybe like somebody's shoelace or I don't know.
nobody has shoes. Everyone's wearing Winnie the Pooh pajamas. You suggest that they
Oh
all
yeah,
take
yeah.
off their pajamas and you can tie them together to make a rope. And
Hmm.
let's see,
This is an interesting situation.
would you want to do that? Do you want to suggest that everybody take off their pajamas and tie them together to make a rope? There's 12 sets of pajamas, 12 shirts and 12 pantses.
Good idea, yes.
Okay. I've never had anybody do that. I've never had anybody so determinedly try to climb down the thing. Usually, people end up out the door. It's pretty easy to get out the door. But okay, so
Okay.
you tie these things. Well, it's not super easy, but it's it's the more obvious course of action to take. Extroverted feelers will wake somebody up. You apparently didn't want to be rude, or I don't know. You just waited for them to wake up naturally. I bet nobody's
I
ever done
mean,
that before either.
why be rude when you don't need to be rude?
Because I don't know, it'd be boring waiting for people to wake up. Okay, regardless, that's not neither here nor there.
I
Uh,
like meditation.
okay, well, yeah, that's good. You got yourself in a good mental state while you're waiting. So you tie together the pajamas, and they turn out to be about 60 feet total of rope when you're done, which means there's a 10-foot drop at the bottom. And it's a little bit high,
That's totally.
but you probably won't break anything, I don't think. So do you want to try to climb
Yeah.
down? Okay.
Um,
Do you want to go
wait,
first, or do you want to
I'm
send
just
one of your
trying to think
children down
about
to
the
try it
door.
out?
Wait, what? I'm I'm starting to think about the door thing now.
Okay, well, if you can still change your mind. Now, look, the thing is, the rope's there. You think it'll hold people's weight. You've kind of pulled out and yanked on it, and you think, yeah,
Hey,
this is gonna hold it right.
wait. Is there anything inside the chest? The
Ah, you want to check
drawers?
it? You want to look in the drawers?
Yes.
Well, there is a in the drawers. There is a book that is a book about botanical species, and there is a hanger, and in the bottom drawer, there's an old transistor radio, but it has no batteries in it.
Um. So can we use the hanger to unlock the door?
Well, how do you want to use the hanger to get through the door?
What kind of handles? I mean,
There's no handle
like,
on the inside of the door.
couldn't you like pick a lock with the hanger?
There's no lock on the door.
Can you just push?
It's not a
Wait,
push
so
door, it's a
it's
pull
locked?
door. In other words, it pushes from the other side, but the cracks are very small around the door. You have
The
nothing to hold
cracks are
on
very
to pull it.
small.
You have nothing to hold on to pull it.
Oh. Um. So could we like? What'd you say was in the chest again? Hanger, book.
A book about botanical species, a hanger, and a transistor radio with no batteries.
What's the radio made out of?
Mostly plastic with some metal components. It's about yay big, like yay big.
Is there any way to like carve through the door or something?
I don't think so. I mean, it's a stainless steel door. You suspect, looking at it, that if you were on the other side and just went like this, it would open no problem.
So there's a castle on the like. There's a castle pretty close by.
Well, it's part of I mean, the turret appears to be part of a larger structure that the pieces of the wall you can see from the window look like sort of castle-like or keep-like. Big gray rocks forming the walls. What's going on, Kimmy?
Okay, it's really bothering me that I don't know how to open this door.
There's no way. The story changes every time. Okay, so I should tell you that there's no single way to do this. It's not like the troll question.
Oh,
the troll question has a sort of a single best answer.
Oh,
I'd love some grapefruit juice. Thank you, darling. I will come in.
Well, I was gonna say. I was thinking there was a way to open it, but I was gonna say like, can you just if like with a door like that, can you just like push it really fast and it'll bounce back? But no, that's probably not gonna work.
I mean, it does a little bit of that. You can see it kind of wiggle, but when you push it, it seems to sort of settle into like a slight groove that keeps it back in its place. So it takes a little bit more force than just pushing and recoil has, but it continues to confirm for you that in fact it's not latched in any sense.
So can we use the metal components of the radio to shred a mattress?
Yes.
We can make the rope.
You break the transistor radio and you've got a beautiful metal shard that's knife-like. Perfect what you want.
Kill all. No.
You're gonna cut up a mattress?
Yes.
Okay, so you
cut up a mattress, add to the pajama line, and then out the window.
Okay, so you successfully get the length of the rope to the ground, and they say, "Well, you're the genius here. You try it first." So you climb down the rope, and you successfully get to the bottom, although it's a lot more tiring than you expected. And you almost fell one time because you got distracted by a pigeon or something, but you're okay. So you gave everyone a thumbs up, and they slowly start climbing down the rope. Now, you're watching, okay, it's fine. You're looking around. I wonder what, now you start thinking, like, well, who are the people who brought us here, and where are they, You don't see anybody. You're just sort of on this grassy part that leads down to a beach, and there's the ocean not very far away from you. And then all of a sudden, one of the guys, a fairly heavyset fellow, I think he said his name was Frank. He's about 38 years old. He loses his grip on the rope and falls and knocks off one of the children. And the two of them tumble through the sky and fall and land at your feet. Their crushed bodies gushing blood out onto the ground. And the people on the rope start screaming, "I told you this was a bad idea! Oh, what were you thinking? Oh my God, you killed them! You killed them, Garrett!" Now, do you want to wait for them to get down the rope, or do you just want to bail at this point? They're blaming you. It's not your fault. I mean, it's the heavyset guy's fault because he knocked the kid off. He killed the kid, if anybody did, not you, and himself, presumably, through his negligence.
I rub my hands in the blood, and then I raise them to the sky, and I wail and I say, "Why?" And then they
Okay, that works. They're all like, "Oh, okay, we trust you now." Okay. The thing
always.
is, here's the thing about this story. There's no end to it. I just sort of ask people these questions, see how they problem solve. And let me sort of explain what I gleaned from this about you. Is note that none of your solutions engaged really any of the people at all. You waited for them to wake up, but you didn't want to utilize them. You wanted to receive and react information. Receive and react to information, right? When everyone was sleeping, you decided to wait for them to naturally wake up instead of waking them up. To me, that screams fourth slot FE because it's aware of the FE component of things and erring on the side of caution to an extreme excess. Now, you and 11 other people or 12 other people have apparently been kidnapped in the middle of the night and swept away to a castle on a desert island. If anything else, if anything in life is going to justify you waking somebody up and not being accused of being rude, I would think that would be it. But as an INTP, you go, best err on the side of caution. I'll just wait for someone to wake up.
Yes. Well, I probably go back to sleep knowing me. I probably would not be the first person to wake. But
Well, I have a theory
I
that
mean, why? I would probably like someone I don't know. Like, I don't want to be the person to wake them up. Err on the side of caution. If I wake them up, I might freak them out. They might be like, "Oh my god!" And like punch me in the face or something.
yeah, in fact, if you had woken anybody up, the first thing they do is accuse you angrily of being the one responsible for kidnapping them all and wake everybody else up and try to convince them that it's your fault. This is a way of me trying to see how people's FE goes, how they deal with FE stuff. Obviously, these kind of
Wow.
questions aren't definitive in terms of typing somebody, but they're fun and they're also a good way to see basically the reflexive frames of a person. When somebody is faced with a problem they're trying to solve, what's their gut instinct? What's their first? You want to plug it in over there? It's just in my face. Yeah, I'm gonna plug it in over there. This one. Let me turn this one on over here and see these on. Damn it. Yeah. Let me plug that in over there. Okay. So, Garrett, my short report of you is you are an intellectual blessed by first world
Satan.
first world predictability. It's like you've had a pleasantly predictable life thus far in terms of it doesn't sound as though you've got alcoholic parents who beat you every night. It doesn't sound as though you are in a gang slanging crack and pimping out hoes or
Slightly.
What's that?
Slight. There is like a little bit like I've done way too many psychedelics, which is a very like first world problem. But I literally did it so many times one time that like my serotonin was depleted. I had like the disorder where you like hallucinate for like half a year, but it went away. So
Okay, well.
But I would like look at the ceiling and be like, "Oh, it's happening again."
Oh yeah, well, when you do a certain amount of acid, you always see the patterns. You never stop being able to see the way that random shapes form different archetypal images and icons. I don't know why that's the case. But it's definitely true for me too. I haven't done acid in a long ass time. Acid's the scary one. Avoid acid. Do mushrooms if you want. It's fine.
That's my plan, actually. So
That's a good plan. Mushrooms are
I
great.
agree.
Mushrooms are delightful. They give me a spirit of good cheer that just can't be beat. I always feel after I do mushrooms like, oh right, I shouldn't be worrying about everything all the time. Everything's fine.
Mhm.
You know, that's a good feeling.
Nice reset button.
It is. Mushrooms are a reset for sure. Um, I wish I could get them more often. I rarely get them, but
I would like to do that exercise on mushrooms.
you like to do exercise on mushrooms?
I might have to bring that up next time I do mushrooms. The island
Oh,
exercise, the
that.
island
Okay, the
questionnaire
question.
thing.
Okay, yeah. It's an interesting one. The troll question is also a good one. Did I ask you a troll question last time?
Mm-mm.
Cam doesn't like it. Cam, come.
No, I don't want to be here for it. It annoys me.
Why? Okay, I'll be quick about it to hopefully let Kim not hear too much of it. You're the mayor. It's the Middle Ages. You're the mayor of a town. The town's split in two by a river. Half the town is on one side. It's got the farms and the food. The other half of the town is the merchants and the villagers and stuff. Farmers and food over on one side, merchants and villagers on the other side. Population is more on the villager side, but it's reasonably split on both sides. Now, what happens is you have a bridge that you use to transport the food from the farm side to the village side, and the goods from the village side to the farm side. Um, but then a big storm comes and the bridge washes away. As a consequence, a river troll comes and lives in your river near your town, and what he does is he has a magical power. His magical power is stealing food. Whenever you take a piece of food across the river in a boat, whether it's one slice of bread or a whole dead cow, anything that's food, he will run up before you can even see him, fast as the speed of light almost, and no matter how well hidden it is, find your food, take 10% of it, and run away before you can do anything about it. It's his magic power, there's nothing you can do about it. He explains to you, though, after the fact, that this is the troll tax. He has to implement a 10% food tax on you for all food that crosses the river in a boat, as is consistent with troll regulations. So the mayors, though, the villagers, though, they point out it's winter now, or it's almost winter, just the beginning of winter, and we've got enough food to feed everybody in the village, just barely. And if we give 10% of it to the troll, then something like 100 people will starve by the end of the winter. So, Mayor, I, as the representative of the villagers, come to you to ask you what we're going to do about the troll. You are a Middle Ages style mayor, which means you're basically the king, all powerful, and everybody has to do what you say.
Should we get a catapult?
You have some catapults. Would you like to try to shoot the troll with a catapult? Or would you like to catapult the villager away so you don't have to listen to his complaints?
I like that one, but I was gonna say catapult the food over.
Okay, so you do a test run at about 50 feet high, kind of a low trajectory, and he jumps up and he steals 10% of it anyway. You try it at a higher trajectory, and eventually you can get it high enough that he can't jump that high. Because he can't fly, but he can jump very high. And when you do successfully catapult it over, you have no problems, provided it's the sort of food that can withstand being dropped from 400 feet in the air or something. You think you're going to have some trouble with coming up with containers to successfully endure the abuse of this methodology of transferring the food, but it would work. It will work, and you found a solution in your very first attempt. So that's impressive. Most people don't. That is a viable solution. It's one of a few viable solutions that people rarely think of. The technical, quote unquote, best answer, although I don't really think it's necessarily perfect, I don't think there really is a single best answer, but the one that people feel most satisfied about when they come up with it is move the people, not the food.
Sorry, I couldn't hear you.
Move the people, not the
Move
food.
the people. Oh, move the people to others. Okay.
Yeah. So, but then of
I
course,
didn't really
if you do that,
process
you
the
have to
whole
move
question.
them 3 times a day for meals if you're gonna have them eat 3 times a day, and that's gonna probably use more
Oh.
calories. And it's
See,
not
I was
perfect.
thinking of it as like 2 different villages, and you have to like move the food across. I didn't really hear your question clearly,
Well, you
but
do
like
have to move. You
at
have
the
to get
beginning,
the
I
people
was
fed.
off track, and then I often do that. I'll fall off track at the beginning, and then I'll be like, okay, I get the gist of it. I'm very slow. That's something that you sometimes say in like live streams. Like INTPs are quicker with the TI. Like they are quick to argue, like quick to bring up points and stuff. But I'm a very slow thinker. Like
I don't think I
always
make
in
that
school.
point.
Sorry.
I said I don't think I make the point that you guys are quick to come up with the arguments. If anything, I make the point that you guys are more deliberate about choosing which things you want to say. And so, as a consequence, if you're in a group room, INTPs almost never say anything because they take an extra second to decide it's worth saying, by which time the ENTP is already cut in. Because the ENTP is just going off the seat of their pants anyway. And it's like, well, if I fuck it up, I fuck it up. That's just how I roll. INTP prefers to be cautious and not fuck it up. So, as a consequence, they deliberate a little longer on everything they say. When you say that you're slow, you're not a slow thinker. You're slow to commit to expressing concepts. That's a different thing entirely.
Well, okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
I mean, you've solved the troll problem in your first attempt, and most people flail around on it for a long period of time. And most people never come up with anything like that. You'd be surprised how limited the NE is of people who don't have it in the conscious stack or maybe forethought or something, because most people start with kill the troll, and I
thought of that after.
Well, I point out the troll standing in the middle of a river, and what are they going to do? Are they going to run up to it with swords? Then they go, okay, well, we'll shoot it with bows and arrows. That doesn't work. And then usually I suggest this crazy idea to see if they'll take it. I go, well, you could put everybody in a boat and float it down the river towards the troll and have them try to stab them as the boat floats by. Some people do that, and in which point the troll tips over the boat and kills all your soldiers.
Oh shit! We are just like you float by. Shit, we missed him.
But you managed to swim to safety.
Let's try again.
And then the troll mocks you as you pull your bedraggled body out of the river.
They're all too emotionally hurt to try again.
Bring a boat full of people as a river troll. That's smart. Okay, well, listen, I want to actually wrap this up so I can hang out with Kimberly and talk to her. I am going to write a report on you. Now, because you are such an INTP, I'll tell you right now, you're as textbook as they come, and quite a savvy one at that. You didn't express a lot of personal story to me. Like, I don't feel I know your emotional engagement very well, but that's to be expected, even though I asked a fair number of questions about it, because the INTP has FI as an insecurity function. They don't understand it much better than the ENTP does, and to the extent that they do, they feel insecure about it. So typically, INTPs hold their actual deepest feelings very close to the vest, reveal them to almost nobody, and generally prioritize privacy very highly. So there's a limited amount of sort of gut level assessment or advice or anything like that I can give you, but that's not what you want anyway. And what I do plan to give you in this assessment of you is my understanding of where you fall in terms of problem solving techniques and how your brain prioritizes certain kinds of consistencies and stuff, shit that I've noted from talking to you, and aspirational stuff that I think that you've got going on that I might be able to framed differently, provide some sort of useful information for you. The reason I tell you what I'm going to write for you here is because, like I said at the beginning of this video, I'm going to make this product available again now that I've finished with Garrett. It's only going to be available one at a time. I'm not going to have any backlog, so I won't make it available until after I make Garrett his little report. At which point it will be made available at $10, twice the price that Garrett paid. It's still a very good deal because my time is actually quite valuable as a debate coach anyway. Maybe not in this capacity. It's not very valuable in terms of the actual market paying me money for it. But if I were to price such a thing if it weren't fun, I'd have to charge a lot for it. Anyway, so if you want to buy that, you should buy that and be the next Garrett. We don't have to film the conversation. If you want to have a conversation with me, Garrett and I did not film the first one. We're only recording part of the second one at my request, basically because I want to make an advertisement for this service. So keep an eye out in the store. When you see it pop up, grab it because only one at that price of $10, which will be as soon as I finish the report for Garrett and send it to him. That'll make sure I'll actually do it. Okay, Garrett, do you think that this experience was worth the $5?
Oh yeah.
All right,
It's
you heard
great.
it from the man himself. He says it's worth $5. That means there's a decent chance it might be worth 10 as well. All right, thanks, Garrett. I'll talk to you later, and thank you, viewers, for watching Talking Famous People. Don't forget to eat plenty of
See ya.
See ya. Hi, Kimberly. I love you, my precious darling.